Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Edna White. I am so glad you're with me today. Today, we're going to have a special author on our Author Insight. And she's going to be talking about Change Your Mind, Change Your Reality, which I love this book. And it's a page turner, but you have to sit down and be quiet and listen. So I want to introduce none other than Kris Ashley. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Edna. I'm really excited to be here.
I am so glad. So tell me what's going on and how you show up in the world, because I'm imagining you're a change agent, because the word change keeps coming. So tell us how you show up in the world.
Yeah, what a big question. The book is really about how we all have perceptions. We all have belief systems. We all have lenses and stories through which we view the world. And by changing your perception, changing your belief system, a whole new world can open up before you. If you think about eyewitness testimonies, they're so unreliable because 10 different people could see the same thing and report it from 10 different points of view. Yeah.
You're right. You're so right.
Yeah. So just by shifting your mindset, you can completely change your world.
Right. Yeah. So when you talk about shifting your mindset, what does that entail? Because we hear that a whole lot. But what does that really mean? What's the steps to that?
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. It's a buzzword these days, right?
Yeah, it's a buzzword. Yeah, it's a buzzword. Yeah.
It is. So our belief system starts from childhood, right? Children until the age of 7 are in a theta brainwave state, which is hypnosis. So when they say kids are sponges, they're literally sponges. They're downloading information. They're programmable.
Right.
So everything that happened before the age of 7 creates 90% of your subconscious mind. So the opinions of the adults who grew up around you, cultural conditioning, that teacher that said you're not very good at math or you're not smart enough, all of that becomes your inner voice, your inner lens.
Right.
And 95% of the day, we are driven by our subconscious programming. Right. So you might do all the things on paper, right? You might say your affirmations, you might journal, you might create your vision board. Right. But unless you're undoing that subconscious programming, you're going to be sabotaging yourself 95% of the day. Ooh. So it's about undoing all of that programming, unlearning a lot of things that really might not serve you anymore.
Right.
And really looking at your belief system.
Yeah. I'm learning that unlearning is what we're supposed to be learning.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm learning that. I am learning. Unlearning is always every day. It's like unlearn that from yesterday, unlearn that from. It's a whole lot of unlearning. It really is.
Because you are perfect, whole, and complete, lacking nothing.
Right.
But you have these opinions of others who have been laid on top of you, your own limiting beliefs, all of these things. So it's about taking off all those layers that don't serve you anymore.
Yeah.
So you can get down to who you're really meant to be.
Yeah. You got to get down to that, because we don't get down to that. We don't get down who we really are. Because I was saying this earlier to someone, we've been coding for years. Women, Black women, we've been coding for years, going by what society says we're supposed to act like, be like, whatever, what roles we're supposed to have. That's a lot of work to uncover the real, your real self, your original self, where you're supposed to be. Can you talk about how that change has to happen in order for you to get, even past authenticity? You got to get past that too, Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, everything in life has been made into this competition, this judgment.
Oh, that's good.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? It's like you want to be on the winning sports team as a kid. You want to get the best grades in school. You want to get the corner office. You want to get the car, the raise, the house, whatever. Right. But it's become this rat race almost. Yeah. And life is, there's so much more to life than that. Right? It's not just work, money, sleep, entertainment. It's getting down to the core that is you, because you are deep, you're universal, you're ancient. There is something in you connected to every other person on this world. We are all one and the same. We're all connected. We all come from the same thing. We go back to the same thing. Yeah. And everything else is kind of like this big distraction that's keeping you from really seeing your true self.
Yeah. And I think authenticity, Like you said, the original self goes deeper than authenticity. It goes deeper into what we're all connected with, right? What we're all connected with, because we're all like, whenever you meet somebody, like, I met them before, someone. No, you didn't. It's the same energy. We're all connected in that same way. It's the same energy. Yes, some people may not show it or share it, because either they're vibrating low, they're vibrating lower than you are, but that same vibration is within all of us. It's within all of us. And like you said, we come the same way, we leave the same way.
Yeah, and everything is energy. Matter is an illusion, right? Even if you think about like an atom, what makes up all of matter?
Yeah.
An atom is actually an invisible vortex of spinning energy.
Okay.
So if you think about, have you ever seen the wind pick up some leaves and kind of spin it?
Oh yeah, whirlwind. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So imagine that, and then just take away the leaves. It's just this spinning vortex of energy. And if you actually were try to look at an atom under a microscope, it would just be a physical void. There's nothing there, and that's what makes us.
Yeah,
right?
That is crazy.
Yeah, it's mind blowing, and everyone.
It is.
Yeah, but everyone you meet is a reflection of you.
Everyone, even the person that rubs you the wrong way is a reflection of you, right?
Especially those people. Those are your teachers.
That is correct. So you wrote something that I wanted to point out. It says cultures all over the world believe in this power for us to manifest, to attract into our lives that which we desire. Many people don't believe that. So Greg Braden wrote an incredible book called the Isaiah Effect, Decoding the Lost Science of Prayer and Prophecy. Can you tell me what this means in the context of what you're talking about? Change your mind, change your reality.
Yeah. So a lot of it has to do, a lot of what I talk about is the law of attraction, and also a buzzword these days.
Yes.
So it's about helping people. The law of attraction, for listeners who might not know, is a universal law that says whatever you focus on, you can bring into your reality. But some people kind of teach it like, oh, it's this genie in a bottle and you can just tell the universe what you want, sit back, kick your feet up. It doesn't really work like that, right? Like, you have to take action.
No way.
You have to get really clear on your vision, take action, put yourself in the emotional state of already having it. Like, it's like this. So my book does a lot of that. It helps people get clear on their vision. There's some exercises in there. Helps them then navigate the gap, right? Because they have this perfect dream life vision.
Yeah.
But how do you get from where you are now to there? But I think also, just as importantly, it helps people remove the things that are blocking them from manifesting what they want. So I've already talked about belief systems, but also things like repressed emotions, holding on to grudges, not forgiving people.
That's top of the line right there, because I think that gets in the way a lot of times.
Yeah, forgiveness is one of the most important things you can do, and it's really hard. It's so important.
It is. It's harder than most people lead you to believe, or that they even understand. Because for me, with forgiveness, there's so many layers of, it's so many layers. Perpetration, how they perpetrated you. You could say, that's my cousin, or my brother. Yeah, okay, but like the trust has a problem. Now I have a problem with trusting you, So that's another layer of forgiveness, because you can say, I forgive you for tripping me. Let's just say that, you stuck your foot out, thought it was a joke, whatever, right? You tripped me. Bruh, you tripped me. Okay, I can forgive you for tripping me because it was a joke, ha, ha, ha. But when you sit and think about it, I could have bust my teeth out and had to go to the dentist, and all these other pieces come into play. And now when you go around him, you're like looking to see if he's going to do some kind of joke or something, but that's a trust issue. People don't really know what it takes to forgive. They don't, because it's, you make forgiveness this blanket statement, but you gotta be very careful, because there's other layers to that. That's the trauma of that, tripping, and almost banging your teeth. You're worried, you know what I'm saying? So there's a whole lot that's involved in forgiveness. There's a couple layers there. So you really want to look into that and be so very aware. So very aware.
Yeah. And, the thing with forgiveness is that, people might say like, oh, what so-and-so did is unforgivable. But no, it's not, because everything is forgivable, because forgiveness isn't for the other person.
It's not.
And it's not about excusing their behaviors.
No,
right?
exactly.
At all.
Right.
It's about letting go of your own pain and your own anger and your own heartache, so that you don't have to carry that junk around anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
And yeah, that's right. And you know what? Also, forgiveness that I've learned, it comes when it comes. So it's not like so easy. I forgive you, because I've learned that. I've said that a couple of times to people, and I didn't. So I had to learn to let go a little bit at a time. You can't eat the elephant. You got to eat a piece at a time. And forgiveness is that. It's a layer. Right? It's a layer of, I do forgive you, but what does it really mean to me? People say it, and I was on board with that before too. Yeah, forgive it for me. But hey, I am forgiving you for me, but the stuff that I have on me about that, I don't know. I got to be honest with it. I got to, I got to see how I do with that. And that's okay to say, okay, I'll work on it. And it's okay, because you do have to work on it. It's not overnight. It's not just saying the statement. It's really living the statement. It really is. It really is.
I totally hear what you're saying. And you have to, until you're at the place where the emotion no longer lives inside of you. Exactly. It's not, you're not there yet, right? Because you have to, because it's freeing. It's really freeing when you're there. Right. But it's hard. And
it is hard.
Totally, it can happen in layers. Yeah. And there's also a difference between forgiveness and boundaries, right?
Oh, absolutely so. Yeah, I like that. There is a difference between forgiveness and boundaries. Definitely so. Definitely.
Yeah. Like you don't ever have to talk to the person to forgive them again. It's just an internal thing.
Yeah.
But once that emotion doesn't live in you, you're free of it, and you don't have to carry it around anymore.
That's right. That's
the goal, right? That's the ultimate.
That's the end goal. Yeah. That's the end goal for it all. Talk about how powerful our minds are to start this process and how we can regenerate and, like you said, reprogram those things.
Our minds are so powerful. Yeah. And the cool thing about all this is it's backed up by science. Quantum physics backed up.
Yeah.
And I geek out on that a lot. But your thoughts are so powerful. Your belief system creates your thoughts create your emotions, which create your habits and your actions. But your emotions are what tie you into the law of attraction or the quantum field. So, most people, psychiatrists say 70 to 90% of people's thoughts are negative and repetitive. So you might live for 20 more years, but you might be living the same year 20 more times. That's changing. You have the same thoughts, the same emotions, you're doing the same things. So by changing your mind, your thoughts create your reality. It's as simple as that. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts and your emotions create your reality. So you can call into your life anything you want. And quantum physics even says every possible future exists out there in a state of rest, just waiting for you to choose it.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
You have to choose it. It's always a choice.
Yeah.
You always have a choice.
And that's the great thing about waking up the next day. You have a choice. Being able to say, hey, do I decide how my life is living from this point on? Okay. We just talked about boundaries, right? I say, this is the boundary I want to have. And then I move forward and decide that I'm going to keep that boundary. But what happens when the other person doesn't keep that boundary? What happens? How do you change the way that you're thinking? Now it brings up a new emotion. It brings up a whole new emotion. Now what? How do you, navigate that, Kris?
Yeah, I think as you start to really create your reality, something really interesting happens. The people and the situations that are on that frequency, you've mentioned frequency a few times. Yes. So frequency is just emotion, right? So it's energy and motion. So those higher frequencies of love, joy, gratitude, lightness, when you exhibit those, this amazing thing happens where the universe or the quantum field or God or whatever you want to say starts to send you more things that are on that level.
Right.
And everything else that doesn't serve you kind of falls away. So there's great stories of, you know, people being bullied at work, and all of a sudden when they're starting to focus on this, the bullies find new jobs or get fired or move to other cities, you know, fall away. Yeah. But
that's good. That's a good point. Good point. I like that.
Yeah. So it's about focusing on what you want rather than what you don't want.
Yes. Yeah. Nothing can hurt your true self. You are more than your body, your thoughts and your emotions, your reactions to things. Talk about this, because this got my heart. Nothing can hurt your true self.
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like we've been dropped into this video game world, right? Where we have this avatar, right? This meat suit that we're living in, but this isn't who we really are.
Yeah.
So our true self is so much bigger than that.
Right.
And just like a video game, you choose your avatar. You can create optimal health. You can build this life that you want. It's like you're living in The Sims almost.
Yeah.
And when you're playing a video game and your avatar gets hurt, the real you holding that remote control doesn't feel that pain. The same thing is going on with your soul, right? Like the real you, your higher self, is on the other side of the veil.
Yeah.
And
it's good.
Yeah. And when things hurt you here, they don't hurt you there. Like your real self doesn't get hurt. And the thing is, most things that happen here are neutral. You know, information is neutral. Circumstances, situations, things people say to you, things people do. It's you placing meaning on top of them.
Right.
Something's good or bad, based on, again, your lens and your belief system.
Yes.
So you can always change your mind and see things from another perspective.
Right.
Because, again, like nothing can hurt the real you. The real you is just this powerful spiritual being.
Yeah.
You're a spiritual being having a human experience.
Yes. Confirmation for me, because I said that. I've been saying that for like a week now. It's like, no, you know, this is really important stuff, because it helps us get through. You know, when we're so educated and we have people like yourself around us that's sharing this information, it makes to get rid of why you do the things you do. Like, you know, oh, now I see, you know, this is what's going on. So share with my audience today your pathways of healing to start to change your mind and change your reality.
Well, I do a lot of work. So I'm a coach. I work with clients, and I do everything with them, from meditations to journaling exercises to different mantras, to physical modalities. And, you know, we do a lot of work on releasing repressed emotions, changing your subconscious programming, forgiveness, a lot of work on forgiveness, self-forgiveness too. And so you can change your mind in every aspect when it comes to health, when it comes to challenges you've been through, when it comes to your relationships, when it comes to money, like all of it is interconnected.
Oh yeah. So give us an example of an exercise that you would run through one of your clients.
Yeah, I mean, so I can give you the exercise on creating your dream life, because that's everyone's favorite.
Okay.
So I have people break down their life into 7 categories. So let's see if I can remember them all off the top of my head. So
I'm writing. Hold on. I'm writing. Go ahead.
Romance, which is your romantic relationships.
Okay.
Other relationships, which is with your peers, your coworkers, friends, family. Leisure, which is what you do for fun and recreation. Career, pretty self-explanatory. Personal development. All about your personal growth. Tangibles, which are things that you can touch, right? Like a house, money, a car, whatever. I think that was 7, right? Did I get 7? Okay, so then I have
5, just 5. 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more.
One more. All right. Which ones did I have? Remind me.
Tangible, personal development, career, leisure, other relationships, romance.
What else is there? Let's see. Your health.
Okay.
Your health is the last one. Yeah. So thank you for calling that out. That's an important one. And that's your physical health, mental health, emotional health. So then I have people rate each category on a scale of 1 to 10.
Rate
so
it, 1 to 10. Okay.
1 is like everything is horrible, miserable, you can't go on.
Okay.
10 is you're living the high life. There, you can't imagine it any better, and you have to be honest. And this surprises most people, right? Because most people rate it a little bit lower than they would have thought.
Right.
But now you have this baseline, right? So you know what kind of progress you can make.
Right.
So then the next step is to write down what would make each category a 10 out of 10 for you.
Right. Okay.
Now the key with this is you have to put ego aside. You have to put your thinking mind aside. And you don't want to say, oh, that could never happen, or oh, that'll only happen if this happens, or you can't talk yourself out of it. Like
no talking.
Exactly. Yeah, just write. Just write. Just let it flow out.
Yeah.
And you get this really clear vision on what it is that you really want. And most people don't know what they really want. They might be feeling unfulfilled or feel like there's more to life than they're currently experiencing, right? They want to be they want to have more success, more connected relationships, more wealth, more abundance. They want to be a better partner, a better person, better human, whatever it is, but they don't have that clear vision. And once you have that vision, you're like most of the way there.
Right.
And it's about taking steps. So the last thing is, what step can I take right now, today?
Right.
I have available to move in that direction.
Right.
Because
today.
Yeah. And it's not like once I pay off my student loans, or once my kids go to college, or once whatever. Right. It's right now, today. What is
right? And that's important. Right now. That's good.
Because as you go, new tools are going to find their way to you. And once you take action, the universe meets you halfway, and it creates momentum, and it just kind of whooshes you forward. And you have to let go of the how too, because as humans, we think we have to go from A to B to C, but the universe knows how to move things simple, quick, from A to Z in ways you couldn't even imagine. And that's the fun part of it. That's
the truth. That's really the truth. I often say that to myself, when things are just not going right. And I'm like, I was just saying today, okay, what am I doing wrong, universe here? Come on, make sense of this, and it just instantly said, let go of the how, let go of it. Okay. I'm letting it go. Let go of the how. Just let it go. And this is gonna happen this way. And as long as I keep my sights for that, but I was worried about the how. And I think that's what we all get kind of hooked into, because again, we're living or emotionally in lack, a lot of the time. So we're operating in our emotions in the lack stage, or without having that object because of this or whatever. But when you let go of the how, you stop worrying. It's like, okay, I'm gonna let go of the how. And I did. It was just that simple. It was that simple.
And how did it work out?
I'm still waiting. I know that I don't feel like that today, like that at all. But I heard let go of the why. Of the how. Let go of the how. I was like, okay, I'll let it go.
Yeah, we tend to over control things, right? As human beings.
Yes, child. We do. We try to control everything.
Yeah, but some of it's not meant to be in our hands, and that's the fun of it, though, too, right? Life becomes a game as you start to see these things enter your life. That's the thing with people who are trying to manifest more money. So many people are focused on I want more money. I want this dollar amount, But instead of doing that, focus on because money, you don't want freaking paper. It's just it's not even backed by gold. It doesn't money is a symbol. It's a symbol for freedom or pride or accomplishment or whatever it is to you.
Yeah.
So instead, focus on what it is that you want to feel, what it is that you want to have, what it is you want to do.
Yeah.
Why do you want more money? Do you want to, so you can send your kids to a better school, so you can start a company that's going to better the world.
Yeah.
So you don't have to work a job that makes you feel like your soul's getting sucked dry. Whatever it is, focus on that and that emotion of what it would feel like to have it.
Mm-hmm. And that's it. We often think about that, the trinket, the dollar, most often. And I think I got out of that long while ago. And I was like, because I used to think to myself and say, oh, I want to go, the artist place I wanted to go to Australia. Lo and behold, I had met somebody who was an ESL teacher, and their friend were living in Australia, invited me down and paid the whole trip. I was like, that's how easy it is.
Amazing. I love that story. Exactly.
That's how easy it is, and it was great. I stayed there a month, and it was, I was so overwhelmed with love and all of that, just like so happy. And they were like, no, we wanted to do this for you. And not thinking, it was such a blessing. And I know that other people are blessed from doing things like that, because the young man said to me, because he called me his pseudo mom, and he's like, oh, I just want you to know, because of you, I got the job as supervisor that I always wanted. And I said, it wasn't because of me, because you're pretty smart. He goes, no, because I blessed you, I was blessed. And he said, now I get it. Now I get it. I was like, yeah, you get it. And that's really it. That's really amazing. I always talk about like what I want, and people are like, oh, you're not going to get that. I was like, oh yeah, I am. And I leave it alone. Like once I say it, I put it out there, I leave it alone. I don't even worry about when it's coming, how it's coming. I got it. It's coming,
You
and I haven't focused on money for a long time, I haven't. I really haven't. And that's a great, I guess, change in my reality. It's a great change in my reality.
Yeah, because it's not a bunch of paper you wanted. You wanted a trip to Australia, and the universe gave it to you in a way that you couldn't have imagined, right? You wouldn't have thought like a couple months before that some people were going to fly you out there for a month.
Never thought in a million years. As they were planning it, never thought in a million years. Like, it was just like, wow, like what? And I was like, I was so happy. I was like, I packed the bag the very day, the next day. I wasn't going in another week or two, but I was like, yeah, gotta get out of here, And it was just so amazing for that to happen. And I love the law of attraction, because I believe it has to do with using our minds more than we normally do. Our minds, we use them only for thinking, trying to solve a problem, fix a problem. We're doing that instead of using it for what it's really is intended for, and that's change and bringing and manifesting things towards us, because we wouldn't be so, we wouldn't struggle so much, and just like you said, taking off the emotional part of that, getting that emotion in line, because we can be very emotional, right? If you be like behaviorally bad, everything could be very high, but it's not the right frequency. Do you get it? I had to learn that, like, hey, that's not the right frequency. There's a frequency you have too. It's not always, we're not always in the right frequency.
Yeah.
Like a radio station. Would you say?
Exactly. That's the metaphor I like to use too. Like if you're watching TV, maybe you're watching Animal Planet and you want to watch History Channel. Yeah. You can hope for History Channel to come on, but until you actually change the station, right? So it's the same kind of thing. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing.
That's it.
And
that's
also,
really it.
And also to piggyback off what you were saying, also your imagination, right? That is why we have imaginations.
You're right.
Visualize what we want. But instead, most people use it to imagine the worst case scenario.
Yes, that's so good. That is really good. That's good. When as a child of childhood sexual abuse, I lost my imagination. I didn't gain it back until I was in my 40s, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Yeah, and I didn't know how to imagine. I couldn't imagine, like, when you play with Ken and Barbie. I had a Ken and Barbie, and I couldn't even imagine what they would do. Like, I couldn't even have the imagination to create a scenario, And I remember when I finally got it back, and I said, that's what's wrong with me. I didn't have imagination. Like, I couldn't imagine anything. So, of course, I went on a journey to gain my imagination back. So I was always, like, creating things. And that's when I started writing, and just making up stuff, And I finally gained it back. I think it was like 45 when I was, about 45. I had no imagination, none. You couldn't even get me to imagine. I tried and you couldn't even do it. Now I'm imagining everything because I know it works with the law of attraction.
Yeah.
I know it works with it, everything works with it. So it's powerful. And that's what our minds were created to do, is to say very little and imagine a whole lot, right?
Totally. Yeah. Yeah. That's interesting. I share a similar history with you. I was also a child sexual abuse victim. But it's like you were robbed of that for so long. Wow. That's
because you have to black out. You have to black out. You have to become a blank slate. Every time you had to be like you went somewhere where I don't know, but you would just be blacked out, like in a black room, so that you can't feel anything. So in an area like that, you don't feel anything, see anything, you don't hear anything, you're there. So doing that for so many years, I was a victim from about 6 or 7 till about 14. It's a long time.
It's a long time.
Long time.
Well, I'm glad you got it back. That's probably like your biggest.
I'm so excited. I got it back. And guess what? I won't trade it. So what's on the horizon for you coming up, so our audience can know where we can look for you, join you, hang out with you? Well, what are you doing?
So I'm all over social media. Change Your Mind with Kris is my handle. You can find my book, Change Your Mind to Change Your Reality, in paperback, audiobook, ebook. KrisAshley.net is my website. I have a free live workshop every week. On Thursdays, people can come hang out and learn how to release debilitating emotional stress. And
got it. Nice.
Yeah, it's easy to find me online.
Okay, that's great. And are you doing any conferences or anything coming up?
I've got a lot. I was just in the Think and Grow Rich Summit. I've got a bunch of interviews coming up. I've no more summits this year. I've done a lot of summits this year, but I'm slowing down a little bit. I've got a baby coming in January, and then
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
It's good to slow down.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank you for being here, Kris Ashley. It's just been really amazing. Is there some last words you can leave with the audience? Because I know you gave us a lot. And you guys got to go out and pick up her book, Change Your Mind, Change Your Reality. Pick it up. And while she's delivering her baby, you can then talk to her afterwards, about the book. Hold all your questions. Is there something you could tell us, our audience, the last remarks or, last words of encouragement?
Yeah, I'd say the way that you heal the outside world, heal a sick society, is by healing yourself.
Oh, that's good.
As you rise, you become this beacon of light for your friends, family, community, and it's this ripple effect. And that is how we heal the world. Heal your inner world first.
Oh, that's great. Well, we love that, and we love you, Kris. Thank you for being here. This brings us to the end of the show. Guys, I want to thank you all for stopping by, because you didn't have to stop by. Everyone that came in on the live, you didn't have to do that, but you did. And I want to thank you for that. Remember to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel and on the podcast. Like, subscribe, and leave us a question, because Kris can actually answer you, because I'll get the question right to her. This is Edna White, your host of Keeping It Real on Purpose. Bye for now.